Hey, welcome to Losi Fanta Audio Adventures. Humor with a backbone, sarcasm with purpose, and self-irony turned up to the max. Not always comfortable, but always honest. Enjoy listening.
Welcome to the Click Colosseum, where self-worth is measured, liked, and leased. We live in a time where the first thing you ask yourself in the morning is no longer how you slept, but how many likes you gained overnight. The mirror is dead. Long live the smartphone. Self-worth is no longer something you feel, it's something you count. Clicks are character, followers are personality, and views are proof that you exist. If you have a lot of them, you matter. If you don't, well, you're probably a bad person, or at the very least, suspiciously normal. In the past, recognition came from skill, effort, or principles. Today, all you need is good lighting, a filter, and the right angle. Likes are the new hugs, hearts replace intimacy, and a comment with a fire emoji already qualifies as a deep emotional connection. Without clicks, you feel empty. With clicks, you feel amazing, right up until someone else gets more clicks. Dopamine is no longer a hormone, it's a business model. Women usually get more likes, obviously because of their inner values. A slightly tilted head, a look that says, "I woke up like this," and a filter that deletes every pore from the universe, boom, digital love. And with every little heart, the feeling grows. I am valuable. Not because you created something, but because somewhere a guy in sweatpants pressed a symbol while eating chips. Romance 2.0. And who hands out these likes? Men. Lots of men. Free of charge, hardworking, and hopeful. The like is the new mating ritual. Men don't like because they're convinced, they like because they hope. Maybe she'll see it. Maybe she'll reply. Maybe something. Spoiler, usually nothing happens, but hope is persistent, especially with Wi-Fi. It gets particularly beautiful when people start judging other people by their online reach. He's nice and all, but why does he have so few followers? A question asked today with complete seriousness. Low reach equals low value. If you don't post constantly, you don't exist. If you don't show a perfect life, you must be hiding something, probably reality. Disgusting. So people post every day. Coffee, gym, mirror, sunset, a gratitude quote, vacation, food, smile, smile, smile. Everything looks perfect. Everything is beautiful. And everything is often completely empty. Because while the dream life runs on the outside, emotional drought rules on the inside. Loneliness with Wi-Fi, self-doubt with a filter, emptiness with a hashtag. But you don't show that. It doesn't fit the branding. Suffering doesn't get likes. Then comes the next level, wealth. Being poor is no longer a situation, it's a personal failure. So wealth is simulated. Private jet, photo studio. Champagne on the jet, also photo studio. Luxury vacation, AI has already been there. Dubai exists mostly in Photoshop, but who cares? The picture looks right. No one cares that the bank account is negative. What matters is that it looks expensive. And this is where they enter the stage, the gold diggers. Women who aren't looking for a man, but for a financial concept. Chemistry? Optional. Character? Overrated. Looks? Secondary. The main thing is money. A lot of money. These women want to be princesses, without a fairy tale, without a story, without responsibility, but with champagne, credit cards, and a pool view. Luxury isn't a bonus. Luxury is the foundation of self-worth. If the rich prince doesn't appear, flexibility is key. Suddenly, modern digital entrepreneurship is discovered. OF becomes the new hope. Body out, subscription in. Intimacy turns into revenue, nudity into a business strategy, all wrapped up as empowerment. And yes, many get rich doing it. Which leads to the uncomfortable question, are they stupid or are we for paying? Because this system only works because men subscribe, donate, tip, and buy closeness on a monthly plan. The same men who used to give likes now wire money, month after month. Relationships on invoice. You can debate for a long time whether this is clever or sad, but one thing is certain, it says a lot about a society where attention is worth more than dignity.
A politician once said, "Everyone will know someone." Let me adapt that. Sooner or later, everyone will inevitably know someone who does OF or presents themselves in their own unique way in the digital shop window. Today, you can't avoid it. Influencers everywhere, creators on every corner, and somewhere in between, more and more often, someone who just did OF once. It's practically part of extended career guidance now. Many of these figures stage a level of decadence that would make ancient emperors rise from their graves and say, "All right, that's a bit much." Streaming rooms worth hundreds of thousands, TV-level technology, lights, cameras, everything top tier. And right in front of it, they speak live to the camera, while behind them stand a Porsche, a Lamborghini, an Audi RS, an AMG, and sometimes, just to round it off, a Ferrari. They talk about motivation, success, and mindset, explaining with a serious face that everything is possible if you really want it, ideally while the next tip rolls in via chat. And who finances this? Normal people, students, apprentices, workers, people who come home after a long workday and then tip the rich. Donations, subs, gifts. The poor finance the luxury of the rich, while the rich explain that success is just a matter of mindset. A system so absurd it should be satire, if it weren't real. As a bonus, there are influencers who publicly show how they spend sums within a few days that others earn in an entire year. Not on education or projects, no, on digital games. Loot boxes, upgrades, skins, gambling in bright colors, money in, so the character is stronger than the average players, so you can win online. 1 year later, the game is dead, everything worthless, new game, new money reign. What does this teach young people? That money means nothing, that wasting it is success, that dominance matters more than meaning. Of course, if someone earns money because they make great music, deliver smart content, or create real value, that's perfectly fine. But giving money to pure self-promoters just so they can continue sitting in front of luxury cars, upgrading virtual characters, and talking about how successful they are, is a modern form of self-humiliation. You pay to feel small. Everything is celebrated as long as it shines. Honest work looks boring in comparison, slow, unsexy. No one wants to build. No one wants to wait. Everyone wants to be rich immediately, admired immediately, someone immediately. And so we live in a society full of filters, facades, and financed illusions. Everyone shows how happy they are, while quietly wondering why they still feel so empty. But don't worry, just post another story, add a filter, don't forget to smile, and please show how unbelievably happy you are. Because if there are enough likes, it must be true.
That's it for today on Losi Fanta Audio Adventures. If you laughed or at least smirked, mission accomplished. And if you didn't, perfect, maybe something got gently, or not so gently, triggered. Don't worry, the next episode will be uncomfortable again. Consistency matters. Truth isn't cozy, but it is stubborn. Thanks for listening, and see you soon.